Hi guys, and welcome back to today's video. I hope you're doing well. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few of my favorite tips and tricks for working at home with the little ones. I have a kindergartner, a preschooler, and then my almost 5-month-old. Oh my goodness, we're almost 5 months old. It's crazy, time flies. But yeah, so all kinds of tips and tricks. And it's not just like things to do and what I do to help make the day go smoothly, but it's also a lot of mentality and ways of thinking as well. But yes, if that is something you're interested in, keep watching and let's get into it. When I first started thinking about making this video, a lot of what I was thinking about was my mentality behind what the days were like working with kids. And I kind of came to the conclusion that before I could make goals and do things for the kids that would make life go smoothly and a little bit easier, the most important thing that I would say helped me before I did any planning or any goal setting was first determine what we wanted our home to look like, what we wanted our atmosphere to look like, and what goals we wanted as a family. And then once we determined what our home, like what we wanted our home atmosphere to be, so for me personally, I wanted to give my little ones the atmosphere and the home life of just being peaceful and simply, honestly, just at rest when they walk through the front door. Even though we don't go very much now, or go places very much now, it's still a powerful thing to where you can walk through the front door and be at peace. You can be at home and you feel the most relaxed and honestly the most true, your most authentic self when you are at home. So that is the environment that I strive to give our children, just a peaceful and happy place to be so they can strive to be their best selves. Anyway, so once you find, or once you really actually talk to your husband and your family about what you want your atmosphere to be and what you want your home to look like, then everything else kind of centers on that one idea or that one goal. So if I know that I want to create a peaceful and pleasant atmosphere for my children, then everything needs to revolve around that one single goal, if that makes sense. But yeah, so first determine what you want your atmosphere to be, and then we'll move on to step number 2. After we kind of determine what we want our home to look like and what we want our atmosphere to be, we then kind of think about whether or not our family thrives off of routines or schedules more. I know there's some people that they like doing the hour-by-hour schedules, the block schedules, and that I used to be one of those people. I used to like to know kind of what every hour was, and every day, every moment, I liked to know what was going on. And now just with 3 under 5 and homeschooling, maintaining the house plus working and stuff like that, it just wasn't as easily attainable. And I found that my hour-by-hour schedules just led to more frustration for me personally as an individual. It just made me really frustrated because if we were an hour behind, if we had the little teething stages where we need more mommy time, and it put everything else behind, then it just was, it led to a huge frustrating day. At the end of the day, I didn't feel at peace, which, as I said, the whole center of our kind of mission in our home was to create that peaceful environment for our kiddos, and it just wasn't accomplishing that goal. So we switched to more of a routine mentality. So on the days that the baby doesn't sleep well and mommy needs some extra sleep, we would start the day maybe by 9 instead of by 7 or 8. But the kids always knew that the routine was when mommy gets up, we always make breakfast together, we eat breakfast together, we do our read alouds together, then we do our school time, game time. By the time all of our activities are done, art projects, and we're ready for lunch, so we have lunch together. And we do all of that pretty much the same every single morning. And that doesn't matter if I'm working from home in the afternoon or if I'm going into the office in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. Like, the routine is always the same in the morning. And having something, oh my goodness, having something reliable that the kids can count on every day really helps to provide, like I said, the center of our goal, which is a peaceful and pleasant atmosphere for our kiddos. So as I said before, our morning routine is always the same. If you haven't seen our morning routine video, I'll have it linked either above or below for you to take a look at. But yeah, since our morning routine is always the same, it gives the kids, like I said, a sense of kind of knowing what's going on, and they never have to question what to do or when to do it because they are in a set routine and they love their routine. But anyway, so the next few things I'm going to talk about are things that either happen or things that we do, or my mentality, and going to the second part of the day. The second part of the day, I normally start working depending on this little one. Normally 1 to 4 is kind of like my work block time, or 1 to 5 depending on how late my husband is working and when I need to get dinner ready and stuff like that. But typically, yeah, 1 to 4 is like my work block time. And I say that very lightly. It's not like a set 4 solid hours where I actually get work done. It's more like from 1 to 4, this is my time to try to get work done, if that makes sense. I've learned to set myself not as high expectations as I might like to, because I've also learned that setting too high of an expectation for myself for my work life can also lead to a frustration and not a pleasant atmosphere. So I've learned to lower my expectations a little bit. That way I can actually accomplish what is on my expected list of the day and actually feel like I accomplished something versus just being frustrated, if that makes sense. But yeah, so from 1 to 4 is my carved out time to where I try to concentrate more on work, depending on how the morning went and if my kiddos are happy and pleasant and if their cups are filled with the love and attention they needed, then it makes the afternoon work much easier and much more attainable when everyone is happy. So yeah, one of the few things that I've done is to remove the easy questions from my kiddos when I am working. And so like I said, that block from 1 to 4, I try to concentrate a lot on work. And normally by that time, that's the kids' happiest like free play time. That's when they are just free-spirited, and that's when they honestly play the most anyway. So it ends up working out perfectly for our family. I know every family has different times of the day where theirs is like the happiest and most relaxed, and ours is definitely the afternoon. Our kiddos love playing and roaming and stuff like that. But yeah, so one of the things I've done, like I said, is remove the easy questions. And by that, I mean by removing the little questions like I need a drink of water and mommy, I need a snack and things like that. So what I've done is I have taken some glass water bottles, and I have about 6 of these bottles. They're really nice. And one thing I really like about them too is the lids do not come off very easily, which I guess is good and bad, but I make sure they're somewhat loose so the kids can at least open them. But yeah, so I fill up the water bottles and I just put them in the fridge so the kids at all times have access to drinking water and that they can always get themselves a drink of water whenever need be, because they just have to open up the fridge and all the bottles are and they're ready to go. And then I also leave a few bottles outside of the fridge because depending on their mood, they might not want the colder water. So things like that. But yeah, and then as well as giving them their water bottles and taking care of their thirsty needs, I also leave like a small basket of snacks out by their water as well. And then in the little snack basket, as you'll see later, I put some little scissors in there. That way they're fully independent, like they can open their little snacks. They're both very, very good at handling little scissors since we use them for pretty much every day doing crafts in school and stuff like that anyway. So I just put those in a little snack basket and they can open them up some snacks whenever they want, and they have water whenever they want. And I am not really strict when it comes to snacks. I kind of just let them snack freely until at least about 3. Then after 3, I say, okay, no more snacks. We have to be hungry for dinner because we normally don't eat till about 6. So that leaves a few hours of actually being really hungry. And that way they eat a full dinner and go to bed on a full tummy. But yeah, so snacks are pretty much free range in the afternoon. It keeps them happy and they like seeing what's going to be in their little daily white basket each morning, and it gives them something to look forward to in the afternoon as well, because they know that during mommy's work time they can snack freely, so that gives them something to look forward to. Another thing that I would recommend doing too is if you work at home with little ones is to have as many open-ended toys as possible, as long as your budget allows it. We don't have a ton of battery-operated toys. We don't have a lot of like the space-taking toys, as I like to call them. Pretty much everything we have 9 tiles, wooden blocks, bristle blocks, Legos, Lincoln Logs, things like that. And they're all toys that when they're playing with them, they make a huge mess. I'm just going to be honest. They do make a mess, especially when they get like a few boxes out at a time of different things. But they love it, and their creativity just blossoms, and their imagination just takes them so many beautiful places. Oh my goodness. And yeah, another thing I try to do too is I keep an activity basket on my desk, and in that basket I put crayons, I put coloring pads and paper. I'll sometimes put a couple of containers of Play-Doh in there. So one of those moments where I am trying to accomplish or get something done, And they come and say, hey mommy, we're bored or we want something to do. And I always say, oh, do you want to sit on mommy's desk and do this activity? Like, do you want to color, do Play-Doh? And 100% of the time it's normally yes, because it is something different and they get to see what's in mommy's basket on her desk. So they always have some activities, and I always have activities ready to give them instead of if I am in the middle of a project and won't be able to get up just for a few more minutes, they can have something to do while they're waiting patiently for me. And the other thing I wanted to add too before we go is it's all about mentality as well. It took a while for me to adjust from the 9-to-5 job to realizing that I cannot accomplish the same amount of things that I do at the office with no kids and when I do at home with a bunch of little ones, especially a little nursing baby. And so I've had to get out of that mentality and realize that a very, very good day for me was a 3 to 5 hour work day, and that's not a 3 to 5 hours straight. Sometimes that's 20 minutes here or there, half an hour here or there. A very, very productive day for my work life anyway is about an hour straight with no interruptions, and that is a very good day. So getting out of that mentality of 8 hours solid to, you know, you're only going to be able to get 20-30 minutes here or there when you do have a bunch of little ones is very important. To give grace to yourself and realize with the priorities, you are a mama first. I remind myself of that a lot too, a mommy first. And then everything else will follow suit. And then once again, like I said, once you have your common goal of what you want your atmosphere to be, then everything else in your life can revolve around what you want to be, and you'll be able to achieve that happy atmosphere, right? Right, at least we try. We try. I never like to say like, oh, we've achieved it, because we're still trying, right? Yeah. Well guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do have any helping tips or anything like that, and if you are a working mama from home or whether or not you go into the office, I'd love to hear about what you do for you and your family and kind of what word you would describe what you would like your home atmosphere to look like. I'd love to hear that as well. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video or like this content, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot here, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye guys.